Hi, folks. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales, melting here in sweltering Southern California. That guy out there is
Eric Zandona in Florida's Emerald Coast.
Eric and I have been. This has been a treat, Eric. Really been walking through the walking with Castillo, with Honor del Castillo, the whole line. I have to tell you, this is this is the Anejo Expression.
Yeah.
My neck tag has the Reposado. I don't know why. But anyway, this one, all of these expressions have their own nickname.
Right.
And this one is afirmación, affirmation.
Right.
Okay, so I'm doing the I'm your token interpreter for the for those of you who are Hispanically impaired. We just broke the seal off of these offline, and by the way, these are really cool. They're light. This is their crown logo, which if you look at is agave.
Yeah.
And Eric caught. He was very appreciative of the details that are involved in the bottle, the mold.
They got on the bottom as well.
Yeah, you've got the logo on the bottom. This one has it. My Cristalino didn't have it. And on the side of the bottle, it says, El honor está en tus manos. You're holding honor in your hand. Okay. So this is the Anejo Expression. I'm gonna pour mine into Glencairn. So I'll be right there with Eric. I think right away, Eric, I'm kind of surprised that it's a lighter. It's almost the same color as the Repo.
Yeah, it is.
If you know anything, this is coming out of NOM 1414. It is Feliciano Vivanco y Asociados. They are agave growers, so they do grow their own. They have their own plantations. They're famous for when they distill. They use copper pot stills, and when they ferment, they use champagne yeast, and they ferment with the Mozart method. My favorite, it's a favorite for us here at Tequila Aficionado. That means that they play Mozart. It's open air fermentation. They play Mozart as the tequila, as the juice is fermenting. Okay, and the master distiller is Juan Manuel Vivanco, whom I've met. He was the first Vivanco that I met, besides the patriarch who has now passed away. Look at the legs and tears on this thing, man.
One thing I want to point out too on the label, around the edge here, they describe the production process. So one thing I noticed with the Anejo is the front label's a different color, the neck tag's a different color, but they say on here, so in addition to the fact that the agaves are grown on their ranch and artisan distilled, they say barricas de roble.
Roble, yeah, oak barrels.
Yeah. Oh, that was the one term I wasn't sure. I know barrica.
Roble is generally oak barrels. So this is being aged, and I would say in the same types of barrels as the Cristalino.
I don't know. I would give it a smell.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, you're right. I'm wrong. Well, wait a minute. But it says Roble. Roble generally is oak.
Right. So,
but
lots of places. It grows in America. It grows in France. It grows.
Yeah. But see, that would be a word you can you can add to that label. You can say Roble Frances. And
I mean they're limited on space because what did they take out of that spot? They took out Lavadura Especial, so they only had a little space, so they couldn't without having to change everything else.
That's weird. Ante ti tienes la culminación de pasión, orgullo y sobre todo honor. Hornos tradicionales, agaves nuestros, barricas de roble.
So anyway, the aroma of this reminds me of the Reposado.
Okay.
more so
Yeah.
than the Cristalino.
I was instantly hit with some sweetness on the nose that came from the barrel, not necessarily the agave.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I'm getting vanilla. There's a deep vanilla note in there, or caramel.
Yeah, it still has this like herbaceousness that was more similar to the Reposado rather than the Blanco or the Cristalino. But anyway, it was just interesting. Lots of interesting stuff going on at this distillery, obviously.
Yeah, and like Eric, you must have been the kid that read the cereal box every morning, the same cereal box. Nothing escapes you. I have not had a chance to even look at these labels. I did not know that there was...
It's true. I did.
Yeah. Well,
like at breakfast, what else am I going to do? I'm going to read the cereal box.
Right, you read the cereal box, and wow, what a lovely nose! Though it's very sweet on the nose. It's
yeah,
like baked.
Yeah, and there's like a sweet orange, like aroma that I'm getting a little bit.
It could be, but see again, and I won't know till I taste it.
Yeah,
I won't know. I'm thinking that this is still American oak barrels and not.
Maybe. Yeah. To me, like I'm getting a really strong. It reminds me a lot of like fresh squeezed orange juice that I've had in Mexico.
Yeah, and again, if you've seen our other reviews on Honor de Castillo, I've been to this distillery. It's surrounded by citrus trees, so there's orange trees and the whole area, and it's open air fermentation. So outside of the
champagne use,
it's whatever's in the atmosphere, and generally speaking, it's the citrus trees. Which when I was introduced to the distillery, it was with David Suro. David Suro said the secret of this distillery and the flavor of Siembra Azul is the trees surrounding it. The citrus trees. And I can sense that a lot in this one.
Yeah. So, but I'm intrigued to taste it.
Let's go. Wow. All the characteristics of the Blanco are in it.
Yeah. Definitely a lot more oak character, given that it's been aged for a minimum of a year. But really, really lovely.
Wow. Outside of the Blanco, we didn't really get a lot. There were some elements of the Blanco in the other expressions, but this one really brought back all those elements of the Blanco, the citrus notes, the sweet notes, the wood notes, just adding another layer of complexity, because there's a lot of going on in here.
Yeah,
that nose is lovely.
I agree. Yeah, and that initial herbaceousness that I was reminding me of the Reposado.
Right.
I think it's more of that like enhanced like citrus element that was in the Blanco, and because it's definitely like the wood character is a little bit on the sweeter side rather than on the dry and cocoa. Right? I'm not getting cocoa, but there is like some sweet caramel and vanilla elements going on in the wood that to me is more indicative of American oak.
See, that's exactly what I'm saying. I think I think this is more of that American oak as opposed to French. But it's so well done.
Yeah.
And then the retro nasal, I got all that baked agave. It came right back.
Yeah. It's definitely there. Yeah, and it adds that sweet character. So just as a note for those of you who haven't had the privilege to be able to taste baked agave, just think of like a baked yam or sweet potato, kind of in that kind of flavor, really rich and sweet and dense flavor. Just it's really, really lovely.
I know a lot of people go to the sweet potato and the yam. I say that the aroma is very much akin to, for me, like pumpkin pie, like pumpkin just brought out of the like Thanksgiving. You know, you just brought it out and you set it on the wire rack to cool. If you've ever been to Tequila, you know that when they're baking agave, it's in the air. It permeates everything, and it smells. You know, when you don't have descriptors, but the ones that you come up with really belong to you. And you know, I walked. When we were walking in Tequila, the first visit we ever had, me and 35 other people, we're going, it's pumpkin pie, man. It's pumpkin pie. I was so green. I remember we walked catty corner to the Cuervo distillery is the small Arete distillery. And their barrel room is across the cobblestone street in a brick warehouse. So when they opened up this warehouse, and in Tequila, it's dry, but it's like at a higher elevation. Okay, it's like it's like New Mexico, it's like at Colorado on a hot day, right? And they opened the doors, they unlocked this door, and I'm hit with this smell, and the only thing that came out of my mouth was, anejo. You know, I didn't know what I was smelling. It was so stupid. But, you know, I was so green at that time. Because it wasn't climate controlled. You know, we know what they climate control. They wet down the cement and shut the door so that it cuts down the evaporation. And that was climate control because you know, and I miss those days because now everything is climate controlled, and you know, they're trying not to lose too much in the angel share and you know, Eric, all that stuff that's just completely, you know, in the when was that? When did I visit? I forget. It was like 2001, I think. You know, in the 20 years since, there's been all kinds of improvements, innovations. Some people would call them shortcuts. But this one really harkens back to the old days, you know?
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I think has been sort of a theme with this brand, is that it's really going for like classic elements of that really make tequila what it is, right?
Yes.
Not trying to be tequila in name with like all these bells and whistles to attract the new kids. Like this is really classic.
This is classic stuff.
Lovely, well-made product.
The legs and tears on this are gorgeous. It's beautiful to look at. The structure is there. The mouthfeel is there. I think Eric will agree with me. Has got a lot of body, even in the Cristalino. Amazing body in that Cristalino. So you're right. They walk that really thin line of stripping too much, stripping not enough.
Right. Yeah, and here again, like I think it's a really nice balance between some of the sweeter elements from both the Blanco and the wood with some of the more like green agave notes. I'm getting a lot of this like really nice like character that is almost herbal. It's just really lovely and just makes a really enjoyable drinking experience.
Yes, it's a big tequila.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can put some of this in a cocktail, but I wouldn't do it. What, do we have a price on this one at all?
So the crazy thing is like, this is, you know, you can find this for $60 in some places. So, yeah. So again, there's like some price variation depending on where you're at, but you're going to be in the like $60 to $70 range for this. I mean,
it's worth every penny.
Yeah. I think it's
so
excellent.
Well done. This is a brand that has suffered a lot from fits and starts. Sometimes, you know, the pandemic, the supply.
Some personal, some worldwide.
Yeah, you know, some of the stuff that she kind of brought onto herself. This is again, it's a celebrity fronted brand at Castillo. I'm a big fan, and that's why I've been chasing this brand for so long. But I had no clue until today how much depth and thought and attention to detail that has gone into this brand. You know what, folks? If you've not had it and you've never had a one from this particular distillery, NOM 1414, look for it. Feliciano Vivanco y Asociados. This is really, I think, indicative of what this brand, what's possible coming out of this distillery. Just forget who's fronting the brand. Just go get it. Spectacular. Each one of these brand promise company, really well.
Great.
Congratulations to, I believe the distributor in Arizona is Seven Sheilas, I believe. And Joanne Spencer for making this happen. We so appreciate it. Eric, anything else you want to say to this about this?
No, I mean, this is a real pleasure tasting through them and just like being surprised in different ways from each of them. And just like each one is, you know, in the same way you mentioned, they each have their own little name, own little character, like in a telenovela that they're trying to, right? What they're trying to do with the naming. But truly, it's not just like unaged, aged for a little bit, aged for a little bit longer, but it's all kind of the same stuff. Each one is really unique in its own way, obviously related, but really, really interesting, nice line, great prices, I think, for all of that reason.
Yeah.
So
I would say get yourself the whole set at the varying prices, because once this brand stabilizes, when people find it,
yeah,
aren't afraid of the celebrity fronted brand, because again, a lot of Latino and Mexican owned brands that have celebrities, the majority, I would say 99% of them are very well done, and this is one of them. This is one of them. So get it now, because once everybody finds out about it, yeah, that price is gonna go up higher. And of course, agave is gonna be higher right now. It's tough to get bottles. You know, you don't know what's gonna happen between now and then. You know, the other thing too is I understand that the second season of La Reina del Sur should premiere somewhere toward the end of 2022, which is this year. So I don't know what's going to happen. You know, it may, once the ratings go up, you may have a hard time getting this tequila at the price you can get it for now. So get a supply now and enjoy the telenovela when it comes out. But that's our take. I say go get it. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That gentleman out there is
Eric Zandona in Florida's Emerald Coast.
And you have been listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media, all of our channels and networks. Please subscribe. We've been watching and listening to Honor de Castillo. This has been fun. This has been real. Thank you again for joining Spencer for making this happen, and the folks in Arizona. Thank you. This has been awesome. If you've had it, leave us a comment down below. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, give us a like. Don't forget to share. And whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.